Hello everyone, welcome back to another banner reaction. I'm DTM as always, and we're expecting a new Heroes banner for this April. I'm just gonna say this flat out, nothing is ever going to beat the Young Awakening banner. Like, oh my goodness. I love that banner so much, and all the Young Krobin art on my Twitter timeline has been like blessing my soul. So yeah, I'm still high on that, but it will be interesting to see what they have in store. I honestly really don't have any idea. I think we might be due for like, I don't know, Tellius or... Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe even Fates. I haven't really been keeping track of like the time frames or anything, but I guess there's nothing else to do but to find out. As always, if you like the content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to support our channel. Only takes 5 seconds to subscribe, but truly does help this channel a lot, and I really do appreciate all the constant support. Alright, let's see who this is going to be. That is Fates. Okay. Well, I guess I have my answer for that. Whoa, is that Mozu? I think. Yeah, Mozu. We finally have Mozu in the game. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, we have a bonus doubler. And Forager Naginata. That's interesting. And AS Bulwark, finally. Even though I haven't played Fates, I am actually quite fond of a lot of the casts, so I'll be interested to see what they have, but we finally have Mozu in the game. That's actually really exciting. I like that.
You smell like a goat.
Oh, Mozu. Alright, who's next? Okay, not gonna lie, I have literally no idea who this person is. This is probably more like Hoshido, judging by what it's looking like. I know more about the Nor units, mainly because I like them more, honestly. Like, yeah, Nor is just a lot cooler and like better in terms of like the characters, I think. But I guess Yukimura is interesting. I have literally no idea who this person is though. Okay, this person looks familiar. Hayato, that's the name I recognize, but yeah, again, I don't have like the biggest knowledge when it comes to like the Hoshido side. Rower Lantern though, we got a new green tome, or a new tome series. That's interesting. Wait, is that like the blue lantern that we got in the allows you to like go through terrain? Alright, we have a new Attuned. Who's it going to be? It's Azura. Oh my goodness. Okay. Theron and Pretty is going to like be so happy about this. She looks really good. Oh my goodness. Okay, she has some sort of WoM effect, it looks like. Okay, no, it's... Okay, the Attuned hero has the, I know, the X skill has the WoM effect. Ooh! Wait, hold up! That is juicy! What? Wait. I think I need like a bunch of that. Wait.
Our next goal?
That is so cool. Now, obviously, it's not as good as WoM 4. It's not as flexible, but like, I literally have not used WoM 4 yet, so like, I'm completely used to it. So that would actually be really, really good for me. Oh my goodness, okay. Dang, I'm glad I didn't release my Gale Force Addendum, because like, I would have needed to talk about this thing. Oh my goodness, okay. Wait, hold up. This is actually so sick. I love this. Wait. Oh my gosh. Okay. Azura's really, really cool. The rest of the units, honestly, I think are whatever. We of course have to check the skills and stuff, but I don't expect them to be really anything interesting, unfortunately. But yeah, the fact that we have WoM as X skill is a really huge boon for Gale Force. Again, not so much if you rely on WoM 4 and are not just WoM 3, because from what I could tell in the video, it was WoM 3 because it was only to adjacent spaces. It wasn't to within 2 spaces, right? Anyways, I'm talking too much about that. We have to leave that to when we get to that. Let's talk about Mozu with Forager's Naginata. Accelerate special trigger at start of turn if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%. Grants defense res +6 and special cooldown charge +1 per attack during combat. And 2 units and allies within 3 spaces of unit for 1 turn. Okay. So this is something similar to like Brave Lucina, where I believe Brave Lucina grants like +3 to all stats, not just to defense and res, and obviously only to physical units. This one has a lot more lenient range condition, obviously, and is applicable to any weapon type. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants all stats +5 to unit, grants an additional all stats +X to unit, X being the number of allies within 3 spaces of unit times 3 + 1, max 10. If any space within 2 spaces of unit has a Divine Vein effect applied, or counts as difficult terrain, excluding impassable terrain, value is treated as 10. So basically, you're going to get 10. All stats +10, basically. It's not that hard to get a vein or like any sort of terrain effect near you. And reduces damage from foes' first attacks by X% during combat. And that includes Braves. And also, when unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores X HP to unit. Okay, so basically, that is flat damage reduction. It is a flat 10 if you get the max condition, which shouldn't be that hard to get, to be perfectly honest. Now, she doesn't have like any percentage-based damage reduction. So like this flat damage reduction isn't that great by itself, especially since it's only 10, right? Like just 10 damage, that's like 2 shield pulses. So like it's not like that amazing by itself. If you combine this with percentage-based damage reduction, then I think you can have like really, really good things. I think she does come with percentage-based damage reduction. Yes, AS Bulwark. We know what this does. Inflicts attack speed -4. You get damage reduction, and you get the Bulwark effect. And you get 7 HP after combat. Pretty standard stuff. So you can combine that with that damage reduction. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I think Mozu as a tank, because obviously this is what, besides like the supportive capabilities, that is what is sort of being aiming for. I'm not really feeling it, right? Like we've had Sita, we have Elite, we have Legendary Male Lear, we have Ike. I don't think Mozu is going to stand on that by any means. As a support, it is interesting, like the defense res +6 plus the special acceleration. But honestly, these days, that's not exactly the greatest support. Like, when's the last time you wished your tank, your Omni tank, or your save tank had special acceleration, right? And even then, there's just like so many different ways to get that now, with like pledge, with like literally just statuses that grant you it. Defense res +6 is nice, but these days you really want to like have that as like a positive status effect, not as a drive. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Mozu honestly is really that good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, again, this is like based off of initial impressions. Who knows? Maybe if we'll get into the game, like she turns out to be super cracked as a support. But like, I rather run Hortensia than Mozu right now. I rather run like, I don't know, Garrick as a support than Mozu. Like Garrick's no panic plus like special acceleration is actually pretty nice. Thank you, Chronicles, for mentioning that. So yeah, unfortunately, not really that high on Mozu. I don't think she's really that good. Yeah. I mean, the one good thing is that she does have a 3 range, but like, I think you'd rather run something like, again, like Hortensia, run probably something like Gatekeeper, probably, yeah. Supports are pretty crowded, honestly. Honestly, like, I'd probably run Brave Lucina, especially if it's like a speed-based tank.
As intended.
Okay. Yukimura. What do you have? Perspicacious. Okay, that's how you pronounce it. Perspicacious. Accelerated special trigger grants attack defense res +4 and reduces the percentage of foes non-special reduced damage by X% by 30%, not 50, interesting, to allies within 7 rows and 7 columns centered on units. Okay, that's interesting. So that is a supportive. And like, it allows you to grant like the DR cutting, DR shredding. It's not DR halving because it's only 30%. So it's not as good as something as, say, like Camilla. But like, it is pretty good overall. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts penalty on foes attack defense equals to the number of allies within 7 rows and 7 columns centered on unit times 3, plus 6 max 15. Reduces the percentage of foes non-special, reduces damage by X% skills by 50%, and grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. Okay, so he himself, if you meet those conditions, during his combat will get the attack defense debuffs, and basically that's a max 15 depending on the number of allies you get. You need how many? You need like 3, so that's pretty easy to get within 7 rows. Oh, it's 7 rows and 7 columns. Well, that's still pretty easy. So you're basically going to get inflicting like minus 15 attack defense, and then you'll get the DR halving. And then you get the special acceleration. Now, the one thing this doesn't have is like any burn damage or anything like that. Thankfully, like he is a cav, I believe, so you can run something like Flared Sparrow and like Assassin Strike. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's pretty fast because like I don't see any like speed-based skills here. Do we know his stats? Yes, sweet. Okay, he's not speedy at all. Okay. That's going to be interesting. He does come with Sabotage, Attack Defense 3. We know what that does. Anything else? No, okay, apparently. Okay, so the support is pretty nice. And that seems to be the theme of this banner so far, like supporting effects. The question is he a good enough unit to make that support, like to be able to use him for that support, right? Like if you think of something like Summoner's Duels, does he fit into a team where you can use him effectively? I'm trying to think, and I don't think so. Like I don't think his combat is that amazing. Again, you can run like Flared Mirror, Assassin Strike, but I don't think his own damage is that great, especially considering like tanks with the Ike Ring, with the Omni Ike Ring, like they have like damage reduction outside of non-specials now, like a lot. And so like I don't know if Yukimura will be able to have the power that will allow folks to slot him in to use his support, right? I don't know. Like, I guess like DR halving is nice, but it's not something like Sonic that you can like eliminate like 90% of your DR theoretically, or get like a bunch of true damage. So he doesn't also have true damage, and he doesn't have like any guaranteed follow-up attack or anything like that either. So like you have to one-shot, because he's like super slow. So you do get like a lot of debuffs with like the sabotage and everything. So I guess it's like sort of a trade-off with that. But if you have like any neutralized penalties, or like unity, then like you don't get that much from the sabotage. Yeah, I don't know. Again, he could potentially be useful in like cav lines in SD, but I don't think he'll be that meta. Again, take that with a grain of salt.
Exactly as planned.
We don't have him in the game. Who knows? We need to do some testing. But first impressions, I'm not feeling it right now.
I'm not being conceited when I say that you would be lucky.
Who knows? He might turn out to be super cracked. So we'll have to wait and see.
I shall go.
Alright, I'm very interested in this Raw Lanterns weapon. At start of turn, if units within 2 spaces of an ally, grants unit cannot be slowed down by terrain, and special cooldown charge +1 per attack during combat to unit for 1 turn. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack rest +5. Okay, so yeah. Raw Lantern is like the normal pool version of the Magic Lantern weapon we had on the... was it Cadian Banner? No, it wasn't. It was the... What banner was it? Actually, I don't remember. Oh, it was the Nabaton banner, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, it's basically something like... It's interesting. I think this will be most useful for Cavs so they can get through trenches. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's nice, I guess. There's probably some use cases for that. Alright, the actual star of the show. So far, the only unit that is worth talking about, in my personal opinion. Azura. Song's reflection with the attuned Wings of Mercy. She's an Axe Cav. Okay, that's interesting. We do have Flyer, Fire Storm boost. We've had that on Fram before. So that'll be interesting. Tri-Path Splitter enables Canto Distant +1 max 4. Okay, so that's like the expanded Canto that something like Ira potentially has. Grants speed +3. At start of turn, if units within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +6, no follow-up, and no panic to unit and allies within 2 spaces for 1 turn. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats +5 to unit for 1 turn. Okay, so not exactly a great weapon combat-wise, but when it comes to the support, it's okay, I guess. NFU support is nice, no panic support is nice, attack speed +6 is decent, but there are a lot of ways to get no follow-up these days as a support. Obviously, we have the guidance, the soaring guidance. We just have effects that grant it. But one thing that is interesting is that this has no movement restriction. So it's not just limited to infantries. Any unit can get this. So that is actually really, really cool. And she is a dancer. So what does her dance do? Changing Waters. Grants another action to target ally, and target can move 1 extra space. Okay, that's like the legendary Azura effect. This excludes cavalry allies with range of 2, so excludes ranged cavalry because IS hates fun, apparently. And also grants incited to target and allies within 2 spaces of target, excluding unit. Okay, so this is just like a slightly upgraded version of legendary Azura's perf dance. Base one. You still get the extra range, and unlike it only affecting flyers and infantries, this also affects armors and cavalries as long as they're melees. Obviously, cavalry range does not get this, which I guess is a little bit of balancing, but honestly, Inside is nice, I guess. We also have Firestorm boost. Again, we know what that does. We have AD Cantrip 3. If Singer Dance use is skill, it inflicts attack defense -7 and sabotage. Infos in cardinal directions. That's going to be very, very hard to use. So you probably won't see it, honestly. Cardinal directions is really limited. And then, yeah, we have the actual star. Forget about Azura, honestly. Honestly, Mercy Wings Echo is the true star of this banner. If an ally's HP is less than or equal to 50%, unit can move to a space adjacent to that ally. So yeah, that is basically just WoM 3. And that is amazing. Oh my goodness, I love this so much. Now, it is important to note that obviously this is not WoM 4. And I know a lot of people have been relying on WoM 4 to have the flexibility to have their clears. Like, obviously, WoM 4 has a more lenient HP condition and also a lot bigger range in terms of the spaces you can warp to. Like, going from adjacent to allies within 2 spaces basically expands, like, you go from like 4 spaces you can warp to 12, right? So that's just a lot more options. For someone like me though, like, I still have not used WoM 4 to this day, despite having a bunch of them. So like, this would be perfectly up my alley because I'm used to the limitation of only being able to warp to adjacent spaces, and so like, this is actually really, really good for like Gale Force in general, especially if you don't mind the restriction of like only being able to warp to adjacent spaces. Now, again, that is a big restriction because, again, you go from 12 to 4 spaces you can warp to. But like in the olden days of Gale Force, like, we had to do that, right? So for Gale Force veterans, this will be really, really, really good. And like, even if you do rely on WoM 4, like, I still think this is definitely like usable, and it won't be too hard to use. Like, just because like you got into Gale Force with WoM 4 doesn't mean you can't learn how to do like WoM 3 stuff, right? The other aspect of WoM 4 is HP conditions, and like, some teams with some initiators just obviously will not work with this Mercy Wing Echo. So yeah, in that case, like, this is not that great. But if you like are used to having initiators needing to be at 50% HP or lower, then again, like, that is not an issue. So I love this, honestly. Like, this is amazing. It frees up the B slot too, which is just so good. Again, the one restriction is that you can't run a perf with that, but in most scenarios, that's pretty fine, honestly. Like, if you put this on Peony, oh no, you don't have the perf dance. Like, no one cares about that in Gale Force, right? Like, you just stick to a normal dance, and then like, you still basically are able to do your shenanigans with Gale Force. Like, granted, like, Peony is probably not the best option because there's not a lot of B skills you would run. But if you think of something like Valoria, well, she doesn't have a perf, so it doesn't really matter. You can't run this on Brave Crom, unfortunately. But there's just a bunch of Gale Force units that you can run this on that would be really, really good. You can run this on armors. Obviously, this is not that great on initiators because they don't need Wings of Mercy, obviously. So like, initiators like Golveg with the perf B, or like Winter Edelgard with the perf B, like, they wouldn't use this anyway, so like, it doesn't really matter. So yeah. I wonder how useful this will be on like someone. Actually, I don't think this will be that great on OG Edelgard as a follow-up because Raging Storm does have the solo condition, and so like, Mercy Wing Echo only being adjacent like really makes that difficult. So probably not OG Edelgard in terms of a follow-up unit. Asker, you probably can't run that because, again, you have the perf C that you really want because of the cooldown. Okay, maybe this is not that great as I thought. But I mean, it's still really cool, right? Like, the fact that this is an option is actually so amazing. And I love it. I wonder if, okay, do we have any like B skills that reduce your cooldown at the start of turn 1? There has to be, right? I mean, I guess you have Leaf with S-Drink. Is there anyone else that like just reduce a B skill that reduces your cooldown? Like, Special Spiral wouldn't work. Although theoretically you can run like, no, actually no, that's not that great. Never mind. What else is there? I'm trying to search right now if there's like a B skill that you can use for that. Bolt Fighter, I guess. Wrath. I guess you can run Wrath. That would be interesting. But like, no, that only triggers at the start of turn, So that's not that great when it comes to okay, maybe I mean there's shield pulse, but like shield pulse doesn't work with Gale Force. So that doesn't really work. I mean, I guess it's more for combat. Like, obviously, there's a lot of combat that you can do with it. Oh, one really, really good skill would be the trace skills. Like, trace skills would be actually insane because it allows you the flexibility of doing the Kanto afterwards. So you can run WoM and Kanto at the same time. And just like the +1 is really, really good for, like, trapping units and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a trace I think would be a worthy B if like they can run it. I guess you can also do other stuff with combat too. And like with the dancers you can run like I guess Firestorm Dance or like Lynx or whatever. That could also be worthy. But yeah, it's just really, really cool, honestly. Like the fact that that is a thing is absolutely amazing. And I really, really love it. So yeah, super excited to see what people cook up with the Mercy Wings Echo. Honestly, Azura is fine as a unit. Like, she's a dancer, so she's going to have value with the support, with the no follow, with the no panic. So like, she's definitely going to be usable. I don't think she will be really that meta shifting by any means. But the Mercy Wing Echo is just super, super fun. So I'm always super down for that. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I can get like free summon. I definitely wouldn't like summon specifically for that because, again, unless like, I probably can't think of anything at the top of my head right now. I would need to think about that on like what the best use case for that would be. But it is really cool for Gale Force. I really like it.
Our next goal?
Yeah. She also looks really good too. I really like it. The outfit. All right, who's the Grand Hero battle? Do we have it here? Okay, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's just the 4 units on the banner. Okay, so who's the Grand Hero? Candace. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, overall, very interesting banner. Honestly, not gonna lie, I don't think the units are really that amazing. But I'm really excited for the Mercy Wing Echo. I think that is just really, really cool. As a Gale Force enthusiast myself, I'm definitely not going to be summoning on this though. Like Mercy Wing Echo is not something you need for Gale Force. In fact, I think for most people, they rather have Wings of Mercy 4 over this Mercy Wing Echo. But still, it's very, very cool addition to Gale Force strats, and I'm excited to see if anyone like uses it. I personally will not be summoning. I don't think it's worth orbs or anything like that. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this banner and whether or not you're going to be summoning. And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help support the channel. Only takes 5 seconds to subscribe, but it truly just helps this channel out, and I really appreciate all kind of support. And yeah, let me know down in the comments again. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next time. Bye, everyone.